Hey, wake up. Wake up. It's time to get
Every
going.
Canadian
No.
has swamp
Get out of bed.
itch.
Get over here. Get out of bed.
Stop poking me!
Fallout 76, the black sheep of the franchise, the game that very few of us actually wanted, and the game that a whole lot more wanted to see dead. And really, the game has taken a lot of hits. In this video, I'm going to touch upon the very rarely mentioned upon good parts of this game, and also bring up the very openly talked about bad parts. This game actually is a lot of fun when you play it co-op, the way it was meant to be played. Really, it isn't the same when you take it on single player, like all the other Fallout games. Yet a lot of people seem to be playing this, venturing out in solo, and they don't really get the full experience of the game. I've been playing with the group, and even when we find glitches or fighting off boring quests, we always manage to have some kind of fun.
No, I'm not laying on random shit anymore.
Oh man. Oh!
Ah! What the fuck?
Playing with the group really lets you take on the bigger group of enemies that spawn, take on a lot more than you can handle solo play, and sharing the perk cards really help out your party a lot. And while this isn't totally exactly the game that I wanted, I would much rather a 4-player co-op Fallout game like Wildlands, where drop in, drop out, go in, huge story immersed into the story, and you can all go out into the story quest together rather than this pure online. But sometimes the raiders in this game make things a little more funny.
My house! Not my house!
What happened?
God damn it, they're going on my house!
They're blasting
Don't laugh at me! Oh!
I'm going to touch upon a lot of things that a lot of people have been talking about. For starters, the one thing are the quests. The quests are very bland. It's all go here, collect this, run around, go over here, talk to this person, now go over here, talk to this person, now go pick up this holotape, listen to the holotape, now go, etc., etc. Without having NPCs to interact with, there isn't much story or pull to the interest of what's actually going on in the world, about the lore, about what's going on. That's one of the big things about the Fallout games, is all the things where they call back to the other Fallout games, all the Easter eggs, all of the lore, all of the hidden goodies that were in the game. Without the NPCs, there's no real interaction in the game. The main story is practically non-existent, I will give it to that. There could be so much more to this, and we found ourselves just steering off and doing our own thing, not really touching much of the quest, trying to get them out of our quest log, filling up on the side. So the game is more or less just an exploration game with your friends, which is okay to a point. I like that. We're having fun still. The quests are just there to give a little extra XP mostly, it seems. But the game could use a few more NPCs there to liven things up, like the other MMOs do, like little unkillable quests markers for NPCs that are standing out. Like maybe in a little DLC they can have a patch where some people came out of the vault, friends of ours who came with us, and now they're standing around, just little NPCs here and there. Now throughout the game of 76 you start seeing things starting to get populated, starting to see people spread out and grow into towns. Like maybe have a little patch where a little broken down town starts getting built up a bit and NPCs are now in there. That could make the game a little more interesting as time goes on. But the quests definitely need a little more revamping to them to make it a little more lively and a lot less boring. Another big one I saw people mention about was the respawns. A lot of people were grumpy about the respawns. I saw a few people even said that they were mad. They went into a town, cleared it out, walked away, came back a couple hours later, and the enemies were back in that town that they cleared out a couple hours ago. But you got to figure it's an MMO, so it's definitely going to have, there's no way you can get around the respawns. There's definitely going to be a kind of a high rate. They kind of expected more people to play it, I guess, so the respawn rates were higher. Probably now if there's fewer people in an update, they're probably going to lower those respawn rates. But you need the respawns for the MMO, because if you clear it out and then you leave, another player comes in, they need to have the enemies there, so you can't get around the respawn rates. So by trying to take this on as a single player game and not the actual MMO that it's meant to be, that it's built up to be, you're not really going to enjoy your time. You're always going to find something wrong about the MMO aspect. And another thing, again, as I said, I took this on as a group, so it might be completely different than the solo players, but I did not find the respawns bad at all. Perhaps it was just because you're playing solo, it was hard. When you're clearing out solo, the time it takes you to clear all the enemies out took the time for the enemies to start respawning on you before you can loot the whole place. But we never had that problem with the group. We cleared them out really fast, and there were several times we were actually trying to get XP or gear or supplies or something, so we were waiting for the respawns, and we found that it took a little while. We had to change servers to get them to come back sometimes. And now to the building, which is absolutely terrible. Things never line up, things are constantly red, they never work the way that you want them to. Everything seems so finicky and choppy and really hard to get things to go the way you want them to. Something as seemingly easily as putting on a staircase to an upper level just doesn't hook up right, and no matter what way you're trying to get it to go, does not... Ah, dang it! Hold on. Alright, we're back. Let's not fall down there again. But as I was saying, things just do not line up the proper way that you want them. Yes, because that's where I wanted that staircase. Right into the floor. The perk card level up page is where I spend most of my time in this game, it seems, because I'm always constantly going through every of which of the cards works best for every situation that I'll find myself in. You notice I put a lot in strength because it increases my weight, and I'm constantly overburdened, constantly running out of weight. So I'm putting a lot of points into the carry weight. I'm also putting it into a bunch of things like the weighs the armor less and the pack rat so you can carry more junk. These are good for if you want to grab them to keep your weight down. Another good one here is the cannibal perk. When you can get this and get it up, it will, every like super mutant or zombie that you find out there, or scorched I should say, you can eat them after you kill them, and that'll bring your food up and your health up. So it cuts back on the amount of food that you have to find out in the wandering around, or the food that you have to carry on you, bringing your weight down. Because now I walk around, I don't need to carry any food on me, because I'll just kill someone and go over there and eat the ghoul, eat the super mutant, eat the scorched, or other, well, you can eat other players. We found that out. When you're PvPing people, you can eat their corpse and heal up from them. Another one, if you're playing with a group of people, inspirational is a good one to have, and bodyguards will really keep you alive. Another one, team medic and healing hands. If you're constantly trying to get mutations, this is get the mutation, get your rads up, fall down, die, have a friend with this, or you can share this card and have your friend revive you, and you'll be cured of all your rads. It's really good to get mutations and get rid of the rads right away. Another good card is to keep the scrapper. Is really good when you're trying to get all of these armor upgrade, or armor repairing and upgrades. I'm constantly running out of certain things like ballistic fibers. I can never find enough of them. This will help so you can get more for scrapping. And then starch genes. If you're going for the mutations, level this one up. After you get to level 30, you'll get this in the luck tree. After you level it up twice, whoops, I meant to inspect it, not take it off, it'll never lose the mutation for the rads. This will be really good if you're trying, but if you get healing hands in the meantime, this is a good way until you get starch genes. That was a quick run through of what I think the best perk cards are and that you should aim for, but you can build your character however you want. And I really like the system where you can pull the card off and switch them on the fly when you need them. For instance, I have 2 level 2 lock picking, but for perception, I can pull this card off when I'm not luck picking anything and throw a different card on in place of it, and then switch it when I need to. So I can get all the things that I want and then just pull them off when I need lock picking, throw it back on. And when you get the when you're playing with a group of people and you can share your cards, it makes things so much better. When you have 4 people and you can really plan out, okay, I don't want to take any agility, so I'll have my teammates share these cards I can pull off and have them share that card, so I'll still get the perk for it. And I don't have to have any points in the agility tree or the skill of that card or anything. I'll get the perks from having the teammate. So when you have 4 people playing through, you definitely have a lot more going for you in the perk cards. You can get more benefits. Early on, before you get any of the perk cards to slow the spoiling of food, such as the card Under Luck with Good with Salt, which when you level it up, it will stop your food from spoiling. But before you get these early on in the game, it was a problem I constantly had myself hunting food, and before I either got to cook it up or to eat it, I found that it constantly spoiled on me. So every time I was out running around, my hunger meter dropped and I needed the food, I'd always find that my food was spoiled, and then I had to hunt around and find some more food. The canned foods was helpful because it never expires or goes bad, but sometimes it's a pain to carry or find, and sometimes it weighs a bit more. And so it's not such a problem when you get later on and you find a lot of food. You can make your own garden inside your camp. And when you find corn or melons or something, and you can plant it up inside your camp and harvest it and cook it when you need it. But when you're running out in the wild and it spoils and you're not near your camp, it becomes a bit of a pain early on. There are some perk cards that help you with this, such as like Butcher's Bounty, which lets you find extra meat, or you can come over to the Slow Metabolism, which allows your hunger to slow down a little bit more. But I always rather putting my perks into Strength, which gave me a problem late early in the game because I found myself always on the verge of starvation until later in the game. Although water has never really been a big problem due to the fact that you can build these water purifications inside your base. They'll give you I think it's every hour you get a purified water or so. So I always build 2 of these in my base, and then I collect them every time I start the game and every time I jump back to my base, and I grab these. And then you'll see here I have been build up of 52 purified water already, which goes into the weight problem. Anyone who's played this, or even the people who haven't have heard about this game, everybody knows that the inventory really sucks. You find yourself constantly overweight, and you need to bring around the aid, bring around your water, bring around all the stuff that you need, bring around your armor, your weapons, and pick up all the junk while you're out there, and it all adds up, and you're constantly overweight. You always get like a little bit of, you can loot a little bit of stuff, and you're always running back, trying to scrap it, coming back to your camp, and then your stash box. You come in here, and it can only hold 400 pounds. Of all the junk that you're trying to collect and store, and you're constantly running out of junk for little things. Not so much. Steel is abundant, cloth is abundant, wood is easy to find, but you're always looking for those harder to get, such as ballistic fiber. That's a big one, and I found a spot for ballistic fiber, which I might get into in another video where to find this. And in case not, just head down to Camp McClicktalk and head over to the Bravo B barracks and the live shooting range shed, and you'll find little military things. Scrap them and you'll get some. But back to the inventory, it really sucks. They give you all these different choices to use too, like a little footlocker here, or a cooler, or a suitcase, yet all of them, for some reason, I don't know why, all of them share the same exact storage space. Like, they can easily put a cooler, can just store food, and it goes, only the food goes in there and nothing else handles it. You can have an ammo box where you can put all the ammo, a gun case where you can put all the guns, a junk box where you can put all of your junk. Separate different weights between them all, between different boxes, and make it nice and neat and organize all of your stuff instead of cramming everything all into one box, and you'll have so much more storage. 400 per box or something like that to increase the storage space and stop running out so fast and easy. I think that would be a good way to fix the inventory. But until then, and until they patch it, at least we'll have the little glitch that we can do, that you can go down and carry an infinite amount of gear. If you just spam a pocket of gear, spam X on it, and keep taking it on and off really quick, you're noticing my inventory is dropping really fast, going down towards 0, which may look bad, but once you get into the negative numbers, you'll see that I was overweight before. Now my weight is gone. I can run, I can move, I can carry as much stuff as I want. So this will be a little work around that until they patch this and fix it up. But hopefully when they do patch this, they'll have the inventory fixed up that we can now store more stuff inside of here so we can have more in our inventory to run around and not be able to pick one gun up and then be overweight and have to run back to camp. I hope you liked my review and you see that there is some fun in this game with the group. And be sure to check out my other videos and watch my group and I take on the Wastelands and a bunch of other wacky and goofy videos that we're going to go into and all the adventures we're going to explore in Fallout 76.